coming on the show. I appreciate you. I've been following you on Facebook for a while, watching you, crush it, watching you do deals. For those who may not know, though, start off just by saying who you are and what you do.
All right, cool. So my name is James. I've been in the real estate space since 2003, so a very, very long time. I started back when before like it was termed wholesaling, it was just called flipping paper or flipping contract. I bought a course from a guy named Carlton Sheets on like a 2 o'clock in the morning infomercial back then. So back in the day, it was a lot harder. We didn't have all the cold callers or Filipinos or texting apps or smartphones. It was a harder game, more like door knocking and postcards. And, we even had phones back then that you actually had to pick up and use and had little rotary devices on them. So it was a fun time and a lot of money was made. So I did that. And then from there, I started buying property. Kind of lost everything in 2008, went through a divorce, lost about 500 doors. And then just which, you can lose everything as long as you have the data and know how to do it. You can pick it back up and keep on doing it. So just kept trucking and kept pushing in real estate.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So yeah, it's been a journey for you.
Yeah, ups and downs like everything. Stock market life, it's all ebbs and flows.
That's true, man. So as far as your business goes today, are you assigning properties? Are you closing on them yourself? Are you doing rentals? Like what's your game? What does your business look like today?
Yeah, so probably I'd say about during COVID, I kind of pivoted. So like everything kind of slowed down, wholesaling. Prior to that, I had multiple businesses all across the country. A lot of the top wholesalers now used to work for me as employees, but I kind of shut that business down, let them go on their own ways. They started their own companies up, which was great. And I kind of pivoted to something that was more guaranteed, more secure. So I kind of moved everything over to Section 8 real estate because
Mm.
it's, guaranteed by the government. I had a couple properties that were still getting paid on while everybody else wasn't getting paid on. So I just knew that, there's ups and downs. And during those downtimes, there were several months where I was having to put 80, 90 grand into mortgage payments. The worst month, like almost 300 grand because people weren't paying their rents. They had all these protections, which sucked. But now, like I said, fast forward, probably I'd say 70% of all the units are under Section 8. I have some LLCs that are 100% Section 8. Just some of those older tenants, retail tenants have been, hanging around so that they're still in there. As long as they're paying, they're cool with me. And usually once they move out, we fix the unit up, pimp it out, and we put a Section 8 tenant in there.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I don't think I've ever interviewed someone on here yet that, is doing what you're doing. Mostly everybody wants to get that quick flip check and things like that. Um, what do you feel? Because when I think of Section 8, I've looked at a lot of houses, and usually these Section 8 houses that I go into are pretty rough. How do you manage to find the right people?
Yeah, so the difference is, Section 8 is just a program, so it's all about the tenants. So, first off, Section has a lot of positives. You have a lot of leverage. So if the tenant destroys anything, you can add that to the ledger, and that stops that person from moving out. So that's a positive side to me. Plus, they'll act right because if you report them to the housing authority, they can lose their voucher. No one to lose 18 to $20,000 a year in free rent. So a lot of
Yeah.
times you have leverage over them. So what we try to do is we put a nice product together. Everything's usually fully rehabbed. I usually do the Burr method probably about 90% of the time. I'm able to make a lot of money on the cash out refis, anywhere from $30 to $50,000 per property. So I'm able to get a nice payday, which is tax free, no capital gains. I'm able to keep that asset. Everything is updated, and then I take off all the maintenance issues to make sure there's not a lot of maintenance stuff. So we have no ceiling fans, we have no closet doors. We have no vegetable sprayers. We hard pipe the sinks. We put clean outs in the front yard. We just make sure everything is going to be good for the tenants, LED lights. Everything is just nice for them. So there's not really nothing that can go wrong with it. So they won't have a lot of maintenance on these things. And then typically we have a good product. We have one of the best products in the market. Usually the tenants come to us and our screening process is stringent. So like I said, we'll even do property visits. We'll go to their current house and see how they're living. And if they're living not right and their house is destroyed, I'm not going to rent them. I'd rather have a house be vacant 6, 7, 8 months and get that perfect tenant that's going to stay there 10 years versus getting that bad tenant that's going to destroy it. But like I said, even though we have that awesome process, there is times that tenants still do crazy stuff, domestic violence, the house still gets destroyed. On the upside of renting someone in Section 8, there's different grants and whatnot you can reach out to get money to help do those repairs, file insurance claims. There's always upsides to every kind of bad situation. You just got to keep rolling with it and keep going for the punches.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's a very good way to look at it. I see why you've been so successful and been able to hop over those challenges when they come. Like losing it all in 2008, I'm sure wasn't easy. So for you to still be here in 2025 says a lot about you. How are you guys finding these properties?
Yeah, so like I said, I stopped finding doing direct seller probably about 18 months ago because unfortunately, trying to find your own deals is like a job. It's not even worth the extra $5,000 or $10,000 you save. So like I said, I've been around the market. I live in Memphis a very long time. I'm a very well known. So typically, any and all wholesalers, send deals to me. Like on the Shelby County Assessor, like just LLCs that are easy to find. I got 500 plus units that someone can find. So I get tons of marketing from different new wholesalers, tons of agents. Facebook Marketplace, MLS. So like I call myself the deal architect. So I don't try to source one area. I'm literally doing everything. And then I still sometimes mentee like new wholesalers that want to kind of get started, kind of like as a community service free of charge to help these guys out. But as helping them, I make them bring me the deals first, and I tell them if I want it, I'll give them a flat fee of like 2,500 bucks, or I'll tell them which buyer to sell it to, and then I'm able to JV with them just by knowing these buyers. Because unfortunately, your network is your net worth in this world. So like I have good relationships with different buyers in multiple cities, so it's literally just reverse wholesaling. I tell these guys what the buyers want. I make them do the marketing, teach them how to do it. They go out to do the grunt work. I just make an extra, 50, 100 grand a month just by helping other people get what they want. That's the name of the game in life.
Love it, love it, love it. So are you born and raised in Memphis?
Born and raised, went to Kingsbury High School, one of the, I think it's the second worst school in Tennessee. So that's pretty cool.
Wow, yeah. Well, it looks like you've made a success story out of that, man. How have you seen the Memphis market change in the last 20 years?
Yes, like I said, a lot of ups and downs. So like back when I was wholesaling, like I really regret that I ever went through that phase because after I lost those houses, I had like a fear of losing them again. Because back in 2008, we didn't have what's called DSCR loans. DSCR loans allows me to buy unlimited properties now. So back in the day, you only have like a limit of 10 conventional loans. You can have 10 loans, but I found a way to go ahead and quick claim these to a LLC. And then guess what? I only had nine. Get it off my credit and put another one on there. But eventually, the local bank I was using was bought out by a bigger bank called Regions. And once that bigger bank did it, they called the due on sales clause. That time, all the banks were going down. There was the mortgage crisis. It was right there, like 2000, about to start 2009. It was a sinking ship. So the bank was cool with it. Like I said, all my houses had plenty of equity in them, so I was able to give them back. And only one house out of all those houses hit my credit, which was kind of cool. So all the ones I lost, they were cool with it. It was a nice little handover. But one of them, when I did it, I was a personal guaranteed on, even though it was a investment property. I just one of the first ones I bought, I made a mistake, and that one little property kind of banged me, which was fine. But it's like I said, it's all just learning games. And then my ex-wife filed a bankruptcy about 2 years after that. We had credit cards together, which sucked. So I was taught in that. That held me back. But no matter what happens, there's always ways to get ahead. There's always options. Like I said, if you want something bad enough, no matter what kind of situation you're in, you can get out of it if you just push through it.
Yeah, man, that's great. I'd love to get into the psychology of that. So you mentioned something a little bit ago. You said when you lost everything, you had that fear of losing it all again, right? Um, how would someone work past, like, how did you work past those fears? And I mean, I'm sure it was hard on you day by day, just thinking about it in your head. Like, what was there any, like, did you have to, did you pick up any new habits, like exercising, like, or did you just fight through it?
No, I mean pretty much. I had a lot of cash, stacked up. I also had a home service company, had an air duct cleaning company, so I had a lot of other income sources coming in. I didn't kind of really get started back 100%. I was like dabbling and dibbling, like doing a wholesale fee here, like very minimum. Probably like 2016, when I met my current wife. So you should get back into real estate. And I was like, yeah, but during that time, like I had just had two kids. I had joint custody, didn't have a wife, didn't have all the expenses it had becoming like a full-on family or whatever. I'm a pretty simple guy. Like, give me a $10 shirt and a $5 pair of shorts, and I'm rocking. Like, I don't
Yeah.
give a shit about luxury brands, shit like that. I care about more stuff that's actual value, like traveling, taking cruises, like stuff like that. I'll splurge on. But then, she said get back in real estate, so I literally started a wholesaling company. About 2 months after that, made like I think 190 grand the first like 40 days because, like I said, I had all these connections, had a whole staff, and I just started opening up other offices and training people. And then I was 2 years after that, I was flipping in the Nashville market. Nashville was really good. East Nashville making like 150, 200K a flip. I was doing that over there. And right before COVID happened, I opened offices in Miami and Denver, and just all this time just stacking cash, doing different things, insurance policies for my kids again, IULs, buying crypto, Bitcoin, just using all this cash. And like I said, usually like today my bank probably has like $14. I don't ever keep cash in the bank. I need cash out there working for me. That's how you stay successful. Is my money's always working. And then she's like, well, we should get some rentals. I had the rentals back in the day. I had a bunch of rentals. I was like, all right, let's do rentals. And literally within a shit, 15 month. I mean, shit, probably within the first 6 months, I had like 40 doors. Like I said, it's really easy to scale because, like I said, I had all the places. I owned a rehab company. I was doing it for other investors. I had all the guys. I had over 40 crews. I had all the pieces in there. I
Yeah.
just didn't have a drive to get there. But once she pushed me, I just took off and started chugging. And my other partner, Anthony, he was working for me, but then became a partner like around 2020. And one of the portfolios we bought with him had that first Section 8 property, which was good. And like I said, then me and him just took off and bought like shit, 200 doors, but then like 14 months just kept buying using our cash and just keep rinsing and repeating. And it's just easy. Once you get that traction, it's like rolling a snowball. Like as long as you're rolling the ball, it's gonna fucking take off, it's gonna fly. Once you stop, it gets hard again. As long as you keep on pushing it, it's easy. Like right now, if I wanted to stop buying, I'd have to slow down. I'd have to buy less houses. But then now you have all these people, individuals that count on you. Like my maintenance guys, like they have families. My rehab guys, they have families. The roofers, electricians. We have probably like 140-ish people within our little organization that rely on me providing work for them, providing jobs. So it's like an
Yeah.
ecosystem you create, and then you just kind of go together and create a team that keeps on pushing.
That's awesome, man. That's a lot of pieces that you got to keep together and make sure that all those pieces are where they need to be. So, how do you do that? Like, how do you make sure all these people are doing what they're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, so it's all about systems. So we have tons of systems. So like we try to break it down to a very microscopical system. So like for example, work orders, we use an app called WhatsApp. So every single address has its own individual chat inside WhatsApp. Inside that WhatsApp, for the work order, we'll have our main property management lady, I'll have our main admin in the Philippines, I'll have myself. If I have any partners in the property, I'll have them in there. They'll add the contractor in there, even though I'm not in there to even talk or say anything, that whole ecosystem exists. Everything gets done. Anytime they need me, they can do an at symbol, tag me, and I can jump in there and answer the questions. And then everything else is done. So once the job is done, they can pay out through a system called Buildium. All the guys have like either Cash App, Venmo, or Bank of America's. Everything has a routing number these days. So it's just so much easier and more streamlined. So just everything just flows. Like a Section 8 inspections coming up, we get an email. We have another admin that opens up a Section 8 pre-inspection thing. We have different tablets for each of these guys. They have different forms they fill out, different apps they go through to go ahead and go through a whole inspection, make sure we're going to pass it the first time. So everything is just systemized to a T. With our rentals and our renewals, we use a system called Podio. We get an email 30 days before, hey, this person needs to renew. You need to reach out to Section 8 to get an increase. Just that on alone, once we automated that system, usually we get anywhere from 50 to 70 grand every year in rental increases on some of our LLCs. Just so we have a system that reminds us. A lot of owners don't follow up with their tenants and they forget to do that. If you miss about one day, you're out that rent increase. It could be 50, it could be $200. We just lost that money. So we make sure that all of our systems are in place to make sure everything just runs smoothly like it should, like a cake. We're just baking the cake over and over again.
Yeah, yeah. Systems are everything, man. So that's awesome. I mean, how long has it taken you to build these systems? I mean, you've been doing this over 20 years now.
Yeah,
Did you always start with these systems?
no, so the systems got really, really, really better in the last I'd say 8 years. Like Podios came a long way, but even the last last 12 months, now we have like texting systems where I could put an advertisement out there for someone to rent a property. They text ready to a phone number, and that AI bot will take them through the whole entire conversation to save a human's time and not having to pay someone to be able to figure out if that person qualifies. We
Sure.
actually hand them off to our human, which is nice because now we're 100% virtual. So even though we have an office here we bought in the Bartlett area outside of Memphis, It used to be staff, and that staff would cost, 100 grand plus per year. But now nothing, no one's staff there. Everything can be done virtual. It's easier. We take no checks. We take no money orders. We take no cash. Everything's online payments. Through Buildium, we have called like Pay Near Me, where they can go like to an Exxon or a Mapco or a Whole Foods, like that to pay their rent. So everything's just streamlined to make the whole business run smoother.
Awesome. So how many units do you have right now?
I mean, I couldn't even tell you the exact amount. Like I said, once you get to I think a certain level in life, you really don't like care like a bragging standpoint. Every day I'm buying more. I mean, if I guessed, I'd be lying to you. It's well over 500. I just don't know the actual number.
Sure, I understand. Do you have a limit that you're going to buy?
No, no. So I have different goals. So like, so yes, I do have different things. So like my goals for the next coming years is like in 20. So this year I want to add at least 300 units. 26, I want to add 400 units, and then by the age of 30, I want to have, or 2030, sorry, I want to have a total of 1,500 plus units.
Awesome.
Like I said, even though you have all these units, we only take like roughly 125 per unit per door. Like no matter what that property makes, you never want to kind of like starve your business or whatever. So like I said, at this point, like every like month, I usually get like 72 grand. Like that's what we just take for the different LLCs because you want to make sure your business accounts are healthy. I mean, some of these accounts have tons of cash on, which is great because eventually we can be our own hard money lender through a different LLC through Delaware where we can refi faster. So it's a lot of upsides of having cash. We just want to make sure we're using that cash and it's always deployable. Like I said, it's just nice. Like I said, you never want to starve your business. A lot of these people go out there and make mistakes of getting a cash out refi. They go out there and buy a nice car to look like they're rich, but that's not actually being rich. Being rich is being able to leave like a legacy and something to your family and kids and have something that keeps on pushing on and keeps on growing.
Man, that's so true. Um, so when it comes down to, your team right now, you have all these people, you don't have anybody in the office, you have maintenance men, you have different people that's just around your team. Um, do any of these people, do you ever like have them as a tenant? Like, or do you ever break that barrier where some of the people who work for you live in your houses?
Yeah, so my main partner Anthony does not. I still do because I have a heart, unfortunately. That's what
Yeah.
makes it funny. So Anthony's like straight business. I'm like the nice guy. Like no matter what comes, like anybody hits me for anything, I'm always there. Like hey, I have no problem doing. I try to give everybody my time because I think everybody is usually in a phase of growing or trying to get to that next level. So if I can help elevate that person, I do it. So unfortunately, a lot of my tenants do have Section 8. A lot of my workers are on Section 8. So I take Section 8 tenants. As long as they check off the boxes, I'll let them move in, which is fine. But I have some of my Hispanic tenants that are hard for them to, find housing. So I'll rent them a unit in the day. So in the day, it's all about helping these, people out to get to that next level because everybody deserves a piece of the American dream. Why should I take it from them? Sometimes it does cause issues. Like my last runner, she did live with me, had some issues in one of my units, and we had to evict her. So it happens sometimes, but it's just the name of the game. Like, but at the end of the day, no matter where she lived, she probably got evicted. It is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I mean, just from this conversation, I can tell that about you from the things that you've said that you do like to help people. That this business isn't just money for you. Um, you mentioned earlier, you said something about helping wholesalers, you JV with wholesalers like as a mentee. Do you also do like paid coaching?
So now with wholesaling, as much right now, the only paid coaching I do is like with Section 8. There's a lot of these gurus out there that have these like yachts and shiny cars, and they portray one thing, but like I've been in the game a long time. I know it's their daddy behind them, it's their daddy's units, like their daddy's letting them run the business, but they're able to literally, which it's so sad because people are so ignorant. People can look at a nice boat and a nice car. I think that person is successful. They never seen that person in a house. They never seen a person like at a property. It's like so funny. So I call those guys the gurus. So I call myself more of a guru because I actually do this. So like I said, if you follow my socials, look at me. Like I'm in these properties. Like I'm out there. Like I don't have to be out there. I do it because I love what I do. I love being
Yeah,
out there. I mean, I could have stopped working shit probably a long time ago, but I enjoy doing it. If you do something you enjoy, you do it. It's fun. Like I said, I like when my contractor fucks up and puts the wrong wall. I like destroying it. Like that, that's great. Like I like going through it. I like the adrenaline of being out there. Like some of these areas are not the safest,
yeah,
which it is. But like going out there and just making sure that I'm working hard for my family, chasing that dream, is what life's all about. But with the coaching now, all I do is like in the Section 8, because like I said, a lot of guys are taking advantage of people. And I did that because people kept coming to me, hey, James, how to get in Section 8? Hey, James, how to do this? And Section 8's a whole different beast. It's not like wholesaling where I can literally have a 30-minute conversation with you and explain it and get you off from there. With Section 8, I got to explain the kind of properties. I got to explain the area. I got to explain, what you're looking for, how much you're looking to buy. I got to explain what a cash out refi is. I got to explain the different types of way to take a property down. I got to explain how to fucking find a tenant. Like, don't take the first tenant. I got to explain how to work with the housing authorities. So it was just taking so much of my time. So I just decided to put a course together to make sure people could win. But like others, mine's totally different. So I want them to win. So it's like a one-time fee. It's not like it's not a monthly fee, or it's not like a every year fee. Plus, they get to come up to Memphis. They pay for the travel. They come up. They get to spend a day with me. They get to drive around. They get to see every kind of business I do, my new builds, my Airbnbs, my Section 8 rentals, rehab projects going on, maintenance, stuff I got going on for students. I kind of show them everything. During that little 5 hour day, they can ask any kind of questions, concerns. Like, it's fully an open book, like nothing is left behind. And then they go back to the office, we mastermind, we come up with a forum with them. So we try to push our students. So like almost all of my students I have, except for like two, have actually bought rentals compared to someone just taking their money. And then we
Yeah.
do coaching twice a month where it's interactive like this, like on a Google Meet versus Zoom, where you can raise your hand, you can ask questions. Like at the end of the day, like we teach other stuff too. Like just on my school community yesterday, a lot of people have LLCs by themselves. They don't know that you don't have to pay franchise and assets tax. So I sent that information. Like, listen, if you guys fill this form out, you can be exempt. This will save you about $4,000 or $5,000 every year. So I constantly try to like let my students know and kind of all the nuggets to make sure they're getting to that next level. Like I said, from LLC setup, like there's so much things to do when you're trying to take a property down, have protection, umbrella policies. Like I've been sued several times. I've had to pay out $1 million for shit that's not even my fault, but you can be sued for anything. Even our lease they got, like on my lease, we probably spent 50 to 70 thousand dollars over the years just like pimping this lease out. But this lease is the only one I've ever seen that has a whole section just for government subsidized tenants that like say, listen, you can't do this, you'll be evicted. You can't do this, you're gonna be evicted. That just helps us run such a better business because now instead of them going to snitch on daddy, hey PHA, these guys are doing this, they have to come to us like an adult and handle it and take care of it. And we just make sure we just keep doing that, and we just trying to have an impact and just help elevate people to that the next level.
Awesome, man. That's good. I mean, you've had to learn from your mistakes, you know. All of this stuff didn't just happen when you started. You had to fail and then you learned from it, then you put the systems in place. So kudos to you, man. If somebody wants to, because what you're talking about sounds really good to me. You know, if I'm wanting to learn Section 8 or, building anything, Airbnbs, what you're offering is pretty cool. So if I would be interested, how could I contact you? How do I reach out to you about it?
Yeah, you can just go to my Instagram mainly. It's James Jones REI. You can go there, and there's usually a link in the top of the links there. And usually I do a live webinar like every 2 weeks. And unlike other people like recorded, mine's 100% live, 100% natural. And our goal is to give out free information. If someone comes there and just shows up, they'll learn the basic steps. At the end of the day, like if I can't give you something for free and teach you something, there's no way in fuck you should ever give someone $1. So I try to give some actually true value and actually explain stuff to them. So like I've had people that literally just follow me and watch the webinar. They hit me up, hey James, I just bought my seventh unit. That's great. Like I said, if people just pay attention, there's enough free stuff that I give out there. They just piece it together. They don't have to give me a dime. So at the end of the day, like I said, I would do this for free to help people. Just some people need a little bit more micromanaging. Some people want to have me to be able to call and talk.
Yeah.
They also get access to me. They get access to my Discord. They get to ask questions. So some people need that like extra shoving. Some people need lending. So we also do lending for people. Let's say your credit's not the best. You need hard money lenders. Let's say you need a lender that's going to refi you when you have a 650 credit score. We have all that built out. So some people just need that extra, pip in their step. And anybody listen to this that's, probably at the 750 credit score or above, you can just watch my stuff for free and you guys can elevate with ease. Because like I said, I go through and give so much free content out there to make sure you guys are going to win.
Oh man, that's incredible. I'm going to put your Instagram in the description so anybody that wants to contact you, regardless if they want free value from you, advice, or if they want some paid, actual one-on-one, they can contact you. It looks like we're running out of time here, but before we go, I would like to know what's one thing you can leave with for people, man. Like it could be business, life, just what's a good gym for people today?
I would say like my key to success is just making sure you keep everything in order. So even though I'm super successful, like I said, it's always God first, my wife, my kids, then business. As long as you keep everything in that order, everything else will work out. No matter what the hell's going on, if a house just burnt down, a house blew up because of a gas explosion, a tenant got shot, none of that stuff matters because if you're doing everything right in life, everything just works out. Like I said, we have a great and awesome world we live in. Everything's achievable no matter what kind of car you want and what kind of house you want, and everything's obtainable no matter where you at today. I don't care. Like Suzanne, she was literally at Burger King last year. Now she has 40 units. Like it don't matter where you are, your mindset controls everything. So if you can believe it in your mind and see it, you can have that. No matter if you want a Rolls Royce or a fucking Toyota Kia, like whatever you want in life, you can have. And everybody's goals are different, like I said, and don't try to compete. It don't matter some 19-year-old little punk that made $20 million on crypto. Listen, KFC guy, he didn't get started until he's 65. It don't matter when you get started, when you get there, as long as you get there, that's the main goal in life. It's just, have your dreams and go after them.
Awesome, man. That was great. Anybody that's watching, go follow James, go check him out, see what he's doing because I'll tell you what, his Facebook is really entertaining too. Like I'll put his Facebook in the description. He has great content. It's very valuable. So yeah, man, I appreciate your time. I'd love to have you back on maybe once every few months to talk more, get updates from you. I'm sure by the next time I talk to you, you're going to be up 1,000 doors.
Hopefully, yeah, just keep pushing every day.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.